Hey folks, Pastor Sean coming to you with today's daily devotion. We're in Mark chapter 6, continuing on with the story from last week. Mark chapter 6, verse 47. When evening came, the boat was in the middle of the lake, and he was alone on the land. And he saw the disciples straining with the oars because the wind was against them. And about the fourth watch of the night, he went out to them, walking on the lake, and he was about to pass them, but they saw him walking on the lake, and they thought he was a ghost. They cried out, and because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. I want to show you something in this passage that I truly love. Jesus sends the disciples into the boat, tells them to go to the other side. He goes up into the mountain to pray. We talked about that last week. When he comes back down, he's standing there on the shore and he sees them fighting against the wind. He sees them struggling with the oars, sees them struggling to get across the lake with this tempest, this storm that has come up out of nowhere. And then he waits. He waits till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he starts walking out on the water. He starts walking out on the water. And this is what I want you to see. The Bible says he was about to pass them by. He was walking faster than they were rowing. He was walking faster than they were moving. And he was about to pass them by. And they cried out. And he said, "Don't be afraid, it's me." He gets in the boat with them and the wind dies down. Jesus saw them in the storm and knew they were capable of handling the storm. Jesus saw them in their situation and understood that they were capable of handling the situation perfectly. And he was going to walk on over to the other side and wait on them. But instead, when they cried out, he came and helped them. So many times you and I get into situations to where it feels like the whole world is against us. We get into situations to where it feels like everything is going in the opposite direction. Everything is pushing against us. Everything is telling us we can't make it. We can't do it. We cannot succeed. But Jesus is out there walking on the water and is going to walk right on by because he understands that there are some things in life that you can handle on your own. There are some things in life that you can take care of on your own. I'm not talking about major incidences. I'm not talking about death or dismemberment. I'm not talking about things that bring you solidly to your knees. But I am talking about the day-to-day life. I am talking about the ups and downs. I am talking about your emotions and your feelings. The things that we can handle, God allows us to handle. You know, my pastor from years ago used to say, "New level, new devils." Well, that's fantastic. That's fine. When I get to that next level, I'll deal with the next level of spirituality that I have to deal with. When I get to that next level, the level that I have left should be okay for me to handle, should be okay for me to take care of. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that the temptations that I had when I was a brand new Christian, as a 25, 30-year Christian, I should not have to deal with those temptations anymore. That should be old hand. That should be something that I know God has taken care of, and I don't have to call on him for that anymore. For me, going to church is not a problem. When I was younger, it was a struggle. When I became a Christian, I wanted to go to church. I wanted to be in the house of God. I wanted to be around God's people. I wanted to be there. When I became a pastor, obviously, I wanted to be there to preach and teach the word, to share in people's lives and to lay hands on the sick and watch them recover, to worship God in spirit and in truth. I wanted to be a big part of the service, but I don't have a problem with going to church. That's not something I have to deal with as a 25-year Christian. It's something I had to deal with as a 6-month Christian. So the things that I used to have to deal with, I don't struggle with them anymore. So when I'm in that battle with something old, Jesus is out there walking on the water, and he'll just pass you by unless you get into trouble and you call out. And here's the beauty of the story. He knew they could handle the storm, but when they cried out, he came to their rescue. He walked right over, got in the boat. Walked right over, got in the boat, and the wind ceased. So don't think that every storm that you're in, you can't handle. Jesus knows what you can handle. He knows what you can take. He knows what you can't take. He knows what will overwhelm you, and he knows what you can paddle on through. Trust in the Lord. And if you get in trouble, call on him. Call on him while he may be found. Seek him while he's near. Call on the name of the Lord, and he will come to you. I love you. I'm praying for you. I believe God has great things in store for you this week. I believe there are going to be godly encounters for each and every one of you this week. Hope to see you this weekend at Irwin Hill. God bless you as always, is my prayer.